It's definitely a physical and mental addiction because no matter what level you're at, it's a challenge. From a beginner to a water starter to doing a forward loop.
I'm just having fun. We're just out partying on the water.
We had to start on big, big boards and long booms, and, the masts weren't, nothing was refined, really.
People can advance so much faster now, it's unbelievable. Back then, we only had one board, one sail. No harness had been invented yet.
Until guys started coming and changing the equipment, once that started happening, then all of a sudden, oh boy, you mean we can do this, and they started making big changes in the equipment. And the balance improved, and the weight went down, and the handling got better.
Windsurfing was the best thing ever when I was, 14 years old, 15. That was the most fun thing ever, was just going out there and cruising and learning. I was never good at riding waves back then, but it was so much fun to just go out and fall off and turn around and fall off and turn around and fall off.
If you want to advance really quick, I think the best way to do is to go to somebody and ask them how to do. The people that really know how to windsurf can teach them really quick.
I think everyone could use lessons from the beginning all the way up to the advanced. If you compare it to skiing, even the best skiers are taking ski lessons. But up until now, there hasn't really been instruction available at the upper level.
Everything is more balanced, more refined, a little bit faster, well, quite a bit faster. And it's, everything from jibing to straight line speed is a lot easier nowadays.
Well, when it comes to water starting, I usually push for a shorter boom sail, something that's easy to clear from the water. And something like the RAF Wave is perfect.
I remember Peggy teaching me how to water start, and Fred, reading Fred's article on water starts. And it took me a long time because things didn't happen so quick. You could take 2-3 weeks to learn how to water start.
If you break the advanced jibe down into just a few basic elements, it's a lot easier to tackle rather than if you try and think of it as a whole. So starting off with good speed, as you go into the turn, you want to keep your weight forward. That means bending your knees, bending at the waist, keeping the arms straight, keeping the boom away from your chest. Whenever you pull it back, it chokes the rig, so you want to keep it forward. When you're in the process of flipping the sail, flip it out in front of you, keeping your elbows out of your chest. You want to keep it forward by extending your arms and then coming out of the turn, flipping the sail, and again staying forward.
Made you think all the time. It was totally evolutionary. There was no rules like there were in sailing, so you didn't have any restrictions about what the thing could look like or how it could be. You just could make it however you thought it should be the best. And nobody was saying, "Oh, you can't do that." They were just saying, "Yeah, doing more." First of all, we were into going fast right from the beginning more than anything, because going fast is part of the sport from every respect. Even wave sailing.
Oh man! Oh, when you click in and you just get in that full smooth section, It's just like snowballs. You just keep going faster and faster.
To be a speed sailor, you need commitment. Commitment to pushing the limits of control, of power as far as the sail goes.
And you have to combine that with the limits of your personal fear level, because you get so much out of control position, so many out of control moments in your sailing that fear will pull your hand off of it and not keep the power on.
You have one moment in wave sailing when you do a loop or when you jump really high that you can only sustain for a couple of seconds. With speed, you can sustain that moment for as long as you can keep sheeted in.
Get loose. It's really tough because you point your toes and you get powered up, you get going, and then you have to relax and just let the sail and the board do it all, and you just hold it in position with total weight on your harness. Going fast in chop will take more of an attitude than a technical adjustment for most people.
But in the choppy water, I have a tendency to bend the front knee more so that when I hit a chop, I can bring the knee up into my body and then flex it again when I go down. Sailing in chop takes more concentration, I think, than any other type of speed sailing. You really got to observe your path. If you let up for 1 second and you take your eye off your road home, you're going to be going home in a stretcher instead of on your sailboard. For me, sometimes it's almost more competitive when we're training together than it is when we're on the speed course, because when we're on the speed course, we work more as a unit.
I think the future of speed will diversify. We'll find the wing and eccentric component systems racing in channel courses, and we'll find another exciting half of speed where we have drag racing and exciting speed races without time so much, but with a winner and a loser.
It'll be much easier to understand, and it'll be much simpler for people to enjoy.
Well, the sprint evolved because it seemed as though there was a need for a speed sail that was available to more people by being a little simpler and a little less expensive. We kind of mutated the 1987 RAF Speed and made it into a simpler kind of sail, less battens and therefore a little lower cost.
Fear of failure is the greatest motivator in any part of life, and when you're on the brink of disaster and all hell's breaking loose and you can sustain that for 10 minutes speed sailing, that's on the edge of madness, and that's what we like.
One day I'll be as fast as Fred.
Yeah, the RAF Slalom is an RAF slalom racing sail. Pure and simple, highly developed, spent a couple of years developing it, and real easy handling, moderate boom length, not as long as the World Cup racing sails. So it has a good all-round performance characteristic. It works well overpowered. It was designed in strong winds for being powered up and for snappy jibing.
The key point to all fast slalom racing is to try to keep your legs as solid and straight as possible. So you have all the power from the sail going straight into your board.
I want to get the sail low enough to the deck of the board that the gap is closed, but not so much that it's dragging in the water. And having the sail far enough back on the board that the nose comes up easily so that the board rides on the tail.
The RAF slalom sail is intended to be used with a minimum amount of outhaul and a maximum amount of downhaul. There's enough shape in the seams to be able to handle the sail being downhauled till the leech gets loose.
I advocate slalom sails for more flat water sailing because the wave sail, it's more of a high aspect sail. It doesn't work on flat water. You need the lower end and the quick acceleration and the speed. And I found that with good equipment, it makes it easier to go fast. It's more comfortable to go fast. And if you've ever tried to go fast when your harness line's in the wrong place, it's a lot of work and it's not fun. But when everything comes together, it makes it so much easier and so much fun, and that's really what it's all about. My experience with the RAF and the cambered sails has been pretty detailed over the past few years, and I've just shifted my interest more towards the RAF because it's an easier handling sail to jibe. It's really quick and responsive.
The difference between the RAF sail and the cam sail is, I think it's much nicer to sail with a RAF sail. It's nicer, it's lighter, it's fast anyway. But in a race, especially in course racing on the big size, you need to have cams.
I think that the cambered sails work better in light winds and acceleration. I preferred the cambered sails for years, and now I've gone into the RAF because they're quicker on the turn and they're easier to handle in the jibe.
Doesn't matter how you rig it, as long as you rig it right.
Let's say you're sailing alone, then it's more a thing of freedom. It's a different... Windsurfing is one thing, but it becomes another thing. It's like climbing a mountain. It's you, and it's your equipment, and it's the nature. All the time you work yourself. You're always trying on new things, and you're thinking, if I do this, what will happen? And you try always different daggerboard positions. With a raceboard, it's a lot of tuning you have to do. You have to find out the right mast position, the right fin position, daggerboard position. Basically what I'm using on upwind sailing is I'm using the back foot purely for pointing, where I have all my power on my back foot, straight through my body, all the way down to my toes. And the front foot, I'm lifting my toes up, just to be able to keep the board on the rail, just like I wanted.
I have the daggerboard really back. And for lightweight people, I think it's really important to move the daggerboard back and try to go fast, not so much straight upwind, but to get some more speed, a little bit more downwind.
What you're looking for is a sail that can reach its maximum speed without having to be fully overpowered. K-film is a lot more stable material than the warp-oriented Mylar has ever been. And it's allow us to put the draft really where we want it. It's still possible for the sail to move around where you want it to move around, but then it stops. It doesn't go any further. So it feels more solid where the old sails were moving a little bit more.
So Anders was going really fast in Holland. He got floored first out of 4 races in the course racing with flattening out a sail quite a bit by using a lot of downhaul.
Usually I wrap my downhaul line around a screwdriver and give it a good pull. And after that, you put the boom on and you have the shape is already in the sail then. And then you kind of like just put the boom on and pull it out a couple of centimeters only. And that leaves you with the shape you probably would like to have.
Just on the beach, you don't see maybe the difference, but when you're sailing, you see a lot of difference. You can have the shape really locked on the front and the sail twist on the back a lot more. It's much nicer.
We really like our leeches to open up quite a bit. Seems to be a lot faster when we go out and we're doing course racing in the World Cup and you see one guy's going a little bit faster than the other guy when he has pretty close to the same board. Usually it's the guy whose sail is opening up a little bit better.
Change positions, rig your sail a little bit different, rig your board a little bit different so you get everything to work perfect, together in harmony.
Oh, course racing. I love it so much. It's so much fun, right? It's so much fun getting worked by chicks on a course board. That's a lot of fun, seeing girls just rip by you. That's fun. It's fun getting seasick. It's fun waiting for starts and stuff. I don't know, man. I'm not into that. That's not fun. I want to just go ride some killer surf.
It's radical to go as high as you can first of a big wave, you know, and then just throw yourself forward and just see heaven turn into water and then go up to heaven again. It's great. Just watch down the moss. Just...
Yeah, well, Rush is just an animal, as you could say it. You know, in big surf and little surf, just goes for anything. It doesn't matter what size it is.
Yeah, it's just like surfing. Gotta get the flow. Gotta lay it in and crank, bro. You don't just drift around on that thing.
When your knees are bent at the bottom of the turn, you can project yourself at the top by straightening out as you go up the face.
Yes, there you go.
I think it comes from surfing, where surfing is really upper body movement.
Way to go. It's a different feeling. It's like going on a radical roller coaster.
You cheat in and get it just right. All of a sudden you accelerate so fast on waves and you can express whatever you want to do on the wave, your own way.
I think Mark's style is real different as compared to other sailors. I think the main difference is that his upper body contorts a lot more than other sailors. He's really twisting and loading up his upper body and then releasing the energy through his feet and hands into the sail.
If you're going out in the water all closed-minded and thinking that you're gonna, learn it all without anyone else's help, you're very mistaken, because you need to be able to watch people and check their maneuvers out.
Usually I push first on my bottom turn, then I'll pull to get as much power out of the sail. Then extending up the face, try to get as high as I can and as fast as I can. You don't want to push too hard because there's not much water up there. Usually you'll spin out.
You could feel the difference in the sails that we designed this year, like with the World Cup wave. We got the double luff panel on it now. It is so much easier to sail than last year. You can luff the sail a lot better. You know exactly where the draft is.
I prefer the smoother power that the Combat offers. Because of the longer boom, it provides a smoother, stabler power, where the REF tends to be more on-off power.
Every time you hit a wave, it's an individual feeling because there's a different amount of wind, a bigger wave. And then you just hit that mother and you bash it and hurt yourself. You're up there a long time and all of a sudden you got a lot of time to cruise around and take your hands off and pick your nose or, you know. Easiest thing, you get on the wave and it starts pushing you, and then you don't have to push as hard because now you're moving and the wave is pushing you, you know, and you can just sail along on your wave and do whatever you want wherever you want. It's fun. And most of the time you just got it under control and you know your limitations and stuff, so you just go real far beyond them.